Hi guys, welcome back on board of the Crypto Cruiser. It's me, Chris, and today we're going to talk about Ethereum Classic, and we're going to talk about some potential price targets for 2025, where I think ETC can potentially end up in 2025. Of course, we're going to talk some price targets. We're going to talk about some chart analysis, Ethereum Classic compared to USD, and Ethereum Classic compared to the Bitcoin chart. And of course, we're going to talk about the Bitcoin chart itself. So let's get started, guys. Let's just start with the Bitcoin chart. And so far so good. Everything that I've been saying has come out absolutely right. So from prices. So basically, since I launched my channel at price of around 66,000, I've told you that I anticipate a huge correction and downward momentum and start testing prices below 50,000 and then a huge bounce to price of around 65,000. From 65,000, I've told you that we're going to drop to prices below at price of around 52,000. And from that moment on, we're going to have the continuation of the trend and start hitting all-time highs. Here, on 10th of October, we had the retest of this huge triangle pattern that we actually broke out on the 19th of September, and we had the continuation of the trend on the upside. From 58,000, I've told you that we're going to go and test price of around 70,000. Then we're going to come back, test these previous local tops at 65 and 66,500. We turned them into support. We formed a W formation, which is a bullish signal, and start hitting price of around 73,000. Then I've said we're gonna drop down price of around 69,000. We actually overextended and we went to 67,000 approximately. And then I said I anticipate to hit price of around 77,000, and that's exactly where we are at the moment. So what I next anticipate, I have two case scenarios, and I think, of course, what did I say for a long time? I've been telling you guys, once we hit 77,000, I'd like to see, once we start testing this huge yearly resistance line, if we're gonna break out of it, right, and we start testing price of above 78,000 and potentially 80,000, and then we come back and test this huge yearly resistance line and we turn into support, and then we're gonna have the continuation of the trend and start hitting price of above 85 to 90,000 even this month. This can potentially can play out. Of course, my other scenario, which in my personal opinion is more, of course, it sounds crazy. At the time of recording this video, Bitcoin is around 77,000. To tell you that we're going to drop to prices below 60,000 sounds crazy, but here it sounded crazy as well, that we're going to drop down to prices below 50,000 here as well, from 65 to 52. So let's see how it's going to play out. So far so good. Every single move for BTC, it has been playing out perfectly the way I've predicted it. But yeah, let's see if we're gonna have just a little bit of a pullback to price of around 68, 69,000, and then we're gonna have pretty much consolidation between these price of around 68, 72,000. Then, in my personal opinion, we're not gonna have that correction, and we're just gonna have the continuation of the trend on the upside. So let's see how it's gonna play out. Nothing here I have said so far is not everything I've said in this video is not a financial advice. It's for pure entertainment purposes, and before you do anything, do your diligence and make your own research. Now, saying all that, again, this is not a financial advice. But let's talk about Ethereum Classic and what Ethereum Classic is all about. Let's just talk about the charts, and this is something potentially what can how I'm anticipating it can play out. So Ethereum Classic is, if we compare it to the market, let's say Ethereum is the gold to like the metal markets. Let's say Ethereum is gold, Ethereum Classic is actually silver. So survived multiple bear markets, and every single bull cycle we're hitting an all-time high. So what's interesting, I'd like you to see something. The Here, since its launch in 2016, the lowest of the low, the price was at around 70 cents. We went all the way to 47 cents, all the way up there. So almost 80x on the upside. When the COVID happens, we hit another low at $3.50, and we actually went all the way to 175 $175 for Ethereum Classic. So that's around 60x, 60 between 50 and 60x. So if something like that plays out, the bottom here was around the price of around $12. If something like that plays out, um, and let's say we go to 50x, that will be a price for Ethereum Classic of around $600. Is that possible? I think, in my personal opinion, this can potentially play out. Of course, that's not a financial advice. It can play out because if we compare it to the last bull cycle, what happened with Dogecoin? Dogecoin went over 100 billion market capitalization, and Ethereum Classic, I'm not saying that it will go to 100 billion market capitalization, but the price is around $600. Yeah, we can potentially do that. And what is also, in my personal opinion, likely is that we actually tested this huge yearly resistance line multiple times. We tested it in May of 2017, again in June of 2017, again in December of 2017, in January of 2018, almost in February 2018. We touched it again, the previous bull cycle in May of 2021, and potentially if we go and we I mean, potentially we can go and test it, and the price will be at around above $300, $330 for Ethereum Classic. And potentially, if we test it and we snap out of it and we turn back and we test it and we turn it into support, we can potentially go for $600. This is just my personal opinion. I mean, Ethereum Classic can be quite exponentially, and it can be very explosive. Just look at this move here. From basically January, we were priced around $5. In May, like 5 months, we went 107. So we went almost 35x, almost 35x in the period of 4 or 5 months. If something like that plays out, in 4 or 5 months, we can go for $600. Of course, I don't think it's gonna play out exactly identically what happened before, but I'm just trying to tell you guys, be open-minded, be level-headed, because Ethereum Classic can actually be very explosive. Let's just look at ETC compared to the Bitcoin chart as well. I think we are at the bottom of this huge channel pattern, and we can potentially form a double bottom formation, and we can go and test this huge yearly resistance line on the upside, test this on the upper trend line that we had multiple touches. And if we measure the move from the downside to the upside, that will be at around 10x, something like that. Actually 15x, but 15x compared to the Bitcoin chart, that will be at around 30x compared to USD, because my personal opinion, Bitcoin will double. So 30x multiplied $20, which we're at the time of recording. Ethereum Classic price is around $20. We can potentially go to $600 again. So there's quite a lot of confirmation about this price of $600. But again, guys, no one can predict the future. We don't know how exactly it's going to play out. This can potentially everything being invalidated, and we can potentially Ethereum Classic go to zero. So be open-minded, do your diligence, make your own research, because this is not a financial advice. Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you all for the support. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, please do it. It's for absolutely free. And if you want to get my crypto guidebook and my other book, The Art of Chart Analysis, with over 70 pages filled with very useful information about this bull cycle, and how to gain quite a lot of knowledge, in my personal opinion, how to become a sophisticated trader. And of course, once you subscribe to my page, you get an exclusive content with the most undervalued, underappreciated coins, with some of them 50, 60x potential, even 100x potential. Of course, that's not a financial advice. Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see each other later on. Goodbye.